What's up, Fantasy Freaks? It's Rob, the NRL Fantasy Freak here. Only an hour and a half till the Storm versus Eels game, and I'm going to crack into this video. We've got my team lists, watch list, and my team as it stands going into this game. So I know this is late as hell, but I'm doing it anyway just to show I've put in the work, and this is what I've come up with. First up, Storm versus Eels. Key players in this game, Falongo. I think he's definitely value, and we should all be starting with him. He's safe. He's a safe pick, and I think he's a good way to get to Ponga if it doesn't turn out. Lasati, 16 points of value. He doesn't have good job security, as Chan is probably ahead of him, but he's got more points of value than Chan, and hopefully he can show that he deserves that role. And he's got the upside, so I'm guessing he will score better than Chan, which will get more cash gains and hopefully earn him more minutes. McDonald's got value with Loiero out, but he's not for me. Clark was good in the trials, but obviously off the bench we're not going to get him, but he's a keep an eye on. And Oitukamanu, a lot of people are hyping him up, and I was on him until I just watched Biz's video and realised that I need to save some cash just in case Aitken ends up getting dropped to the bench in the last game and I'll have to switch to Herbie. In the Eels, I had to drop Oitukamanu and Hopgood, who was the other one, who's good value, 7 points for a keeper, averaging over 50. But yeah, you got to make sacrifices, and they were two upside players, so they're definitely good options. Just doesn't work for my team. Looking at the next game, Warriors-Roosters. Tedesco. The Roosters have got 5 green fixtures in their first 7, and Teddy's a gun, so he's a good option that you could get him for this round and then pivot to Ponga if it doesn't go well, or you could keep him. Crichton, same thing, good fixtures, he's a gun, little bit of value there. Butcher and Steep, there's 4 middles and 2 edges on the bench, as in Wong and Butcher can both play edge and middle, so that's not appealing for Butcher and Steep's job security. And I just have never trusted Trent Robinson since the Terrell May fiasco where he could barely get minutes. And on the Warriors side, Laban, 8 points of value. He's an option, but I'm going to go... Yeah, actually, I could go him instead of Lasati. So we'll get to that in my team. It'll be good to have a Warrior in my team. And he might have more job security because he's earned that spot rather than getting it through Blore being out, was how Lasati's got the position. And Blore will be back round 2. Broncos-Panthers. So the big guns up on show in this game. We've got Reece Walsh, 90 upside, and definitely having him in my team. Haas, another massive gun, could average 70 plus to start the season, always starts hot. Cleary, another big gun, he could average 70 plus very easily as well. And Yo is also in that 60 plus category. Sharks, Titans. Colhoun is the big value play from the Sharks. 15 points of value, starting lock. He's expected to be a future captain, and yeah, I think he's great value. In the Titans, there's not much else to talk about in the Sharks. In the Titans, we've got Randall could still end up being a great option, but he's a wait and see. See how he goes after round 1. Tino, he's a value gun, average close to 60, and he's another option with Hopgood and Oitokamanu. Like you get a couple of them in your team, you'll be doing well. And he is the future of the club, and the Titans fought to hold on to him, so he's obviously got a future there. I'm not sure how many minutes he's going to get, and as I've mentioned, I don't like picking players on the bench, especially number 17. And the new player that's arrived with Patson being out, Howe, I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but he's got upside. If he can keep that role, he'll make good cash, so he's in my team. And that's pretty much that. On to the next game, Seagulls Raiders. Seagulls are not the greatest fantasy relevant team. And into the Raiders, we've got Sanders as the key value pick here. Starting halfback, heel kick, goal kick. And the big one for me that's come out of nowhere, Noah Martin, 30 points of value. He's proven in reserve grade, and it might only be for 1 week, but if he did manage to get it for a couple, even 3 weeks, he could make an easy 100k. So I'm going to go for the upside, especially since I didn't get on Ryan Couchman, and it makes it, I can get those points and cash similar to Couch. A lot of people are only going to get the cash from Couch because they weren't sure he was going to get the minutes, so they had him down in their emergencies. On to the next game, Dolphins Rabbitohs, last game. So Lemuelu, 10 points of value. With that bench, he's got to play 80, and he's proven he can do it. So at 10 points of value, if you want to go there. And on the Rabbitohs side, David Fafita, we've all should have 22 points of value. With Aitken getting that edge spot, it is likely that Fafita's the one that gets rested, which reduces his upside, but I think he's still value at 60 minutes, and he's a safe player to have in your team to start the season. Mentioned in my first video of the season, Ewan Aitken was in my team. I told you that Bennett loved Aitken, and sure enough, he's back in, and he is in my team. So that's pretty much that. Let's go on to my watch list Wednesday slides. Just going to go through the cheapies. So I've got Noah Martin at the top. Lukey and Chester and two have all played. Adama Howe next on the list. So the reason I want Martin and Howe is because they're the most likely to get a cash bump early, and that's what you want round 1 when we've got the least amount of information, and then we can make better decisions in round 2. Ideally, you wouldn't want to have as many risky options as I've got, but it is what it is. I've got lots of safety in other positions. Calhoun, 15 points of value. Sanders, Makasini, and Faimani round out the cheapies, and you can see there that Martin and Howe entered the cheapies table this week. Into the what's going on? Mid-ranges. So Brown's still at the top, but I've reduced his expected average. I can't believe I didn't really factor in the Ponga effect, so that's reduced him a bit. Fafita, still will keep him at that high expected average until we see otherwise. Mooney, Adam Dewey, Balongo, Hopgood, Marnie, Atkinson, and Oitukamanu. Jumps onto the list because he should get better minutes to start the season with Liuro out, and they might lean on him a bit. And finally, the guns. Payne Haas, Nathan Cleary at the top. Aitken jumps up the list, an edge, a back rower in your centres is gold. Reece Walsh with the upside. Ponga has now proven, and I don't think it'll be a flash in the pan like last year. And Isaiah Yeo jumps up the list just because of his security of minutes and that high average. You want to get safe points at the start of the season. Similar for Crichton in the edge spot, Tino and Nicholas Hines to round out the guns. And let's just go to let's just go to my team. So looking at the team, Reed Mahoney with 54 points, great start for him. Trey Mooney was 66, got the try, very happy. Lukey was 68, great start for him getting the 80 minutes. Dylan Brown was the only letdown so far with 35, but I was happy to see him running the ball lots, and I think he will definitely improve on that, and that'll probably be his worst score of the year. Chester with 45, solid at that price, in a tough position with not much attack, very happy. And Atkinson with 59 points. I brought him in when Stewart was moved to the bench, so very happy to get that in a tough game against the Dogs. The extra minutes definitely helped, but we'll take it. Looking at the changes in my team since the last video, so I've got rid of Hopgood and Farnworth. So Hopgood out for Yo, so that's an upgrade. Farnworth to Aitken, it's a little bit of a downgrade, but Aitken's got some value getting that edge spot. He's a tackle machine, so that's a safe option. Stewart, as mentioned, dropped down and I switched to Atkinson, same price. And Paxton, I've switched with Howe since he's got the job. And finally, I had Fayamani I was going to bring in, but I've switched to Noah Martin to get the upside. And even if he gets just the 1 week, I can move him to Ryan Couchman next week. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So what do you think of the team? Let me know in the comments. And if you like my graphics, or if you think some of the projections are way off, let me know so that people watching the video can read the comments as well and they might learn something. But hopefully my projections aren't too bad and we can make some cash and some points on these cheapies that I've brought in. I noticed Biz has a very similar team to me, so I won't be the only one crashing and burning. And with that, good luck everyone for this round, and I hope Lasati and Whaolongo can do some damage tonight.